What's up, everybody? So another weekend here, another boxing weekend down. So it was not a very heavy boxing weekend. I would say you had plenty of cards, but it wasn't anything special. But it doesn't mean we didn't get some solid performances. And let's start with Galal Yafai. So number one, Galal Yafai absolutely destroys Tommy Frank. And this is where we talk about levels. You know, we all know he was a gold medalist. And coming into the pros, we're like, okay, what is he going to do? And he didn't look good a couple fights ago. I'm not going to lie. He didn't look that great a couple fights ago. And I'm still have some concerns once he steps up in level. And I think this is exactly why they put him in with Tommy Frank. They was like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's see what he looks like. And he came through with flying colors. He absolutely said, I'm just going to destroy this man. I'm going to show y'all I'm better than what I showed before. We got to see him in there with somebody that's going to give him some rounds, though, because somebody that gives Galal Yafai some rounds might be able to give him some trouble. But he's a very exciting fighter to watch, especially at the flyweight division, where you know you're going to see a lot of punches thrown. You got a guy like Galal Yafai that can take you out, and he's coming to take you out. And that's a fan-friendly style, and that's what we like to see. So it's going to be good to see him in there. And I honestly think a fight with him and Julio Cesar Martinez would be fantastic, because he's not going to have to find Julio Cesar Martinez. He's going to be right there, and Martinez is going to be throwing blows back. So that would be as entertaining as they come. That's the matchup I want to see versus him versus a Bam Rodriguez. I would love the Bam Rodriguez fight, but we already know he's fighting Sonny Edwards. And Sonny Edwards, I think Sonny Edwards would beat Galal Yafai fairly easily at the moment. But we'll have to see how he continues to develop. But a Julio Cesar Martinez fight, that would be, I think he can beat Julio Cesar Martinez now. But we got to see how he stands up when we're talking about a 12-round fight as well. So that's Galal Yafai taking care of business against Tommy Frank. We'll see what happens next, who he takes on next, if he gets a run out again, or if he gets into a more higher profile fight early next year. Number two, so Scoby gets a TKO victory over Carmona. Now, Kurt Scoby, he is in the super lightweight division. He's trying to climb the ranks, but he went in there and blew out Carmona. Had no issues with him. Carmona's a good boxer. You know, you can say he was moving around, but it didn't have the pop to keep Scoby off of him, and that showed. And we all know Scoby definitely has some power, and it caught up to him. It looked like it was only a matter of time. It was. He took him out, and I'm curious who he's gonna fight next. He still has a ways to go. I still think fighters like Richardson Hitchens is better than Scoby, but it would be interesting to see that power, because power is the great equalizer, especially in boxing. So we definitely want to see what happens with Scoby next. And I'll be watching, depending on if it's on a platform I can watch. If they have it on a platform I can watch. So let's see what happens with Scoby next. But excellent performance on the Overtime Boxing show. Number three, also on the Overtime Boxing card, was Leanna Cruz. Came out in the Spider-Woman outfit. I like the fit. I like Leanna Cruz. Leanna Cruz is athletic. She has quickness. And what I like about that is it's an exciting style to watch. You know what I mean? It's an exciting style to watch when you see the hands flowing and they're coming that fast. I like watching it. And anything that's gonna capture my attention is what it's all about. Now, she fought, I can't pronounce her name. I'm gonna make sure I look and make sure I say that woman's name right. Belenga. She went against a very game Belenga, but Leanna Cruz was just too much in there. And I want to see what she does next as well. She's fighting out of the super flyweight division. She's only 25 years old. She has plenty of growth to go. So let's see what happens with her next. But it was a good performance by her. She definitely has some growing to do, but I'm going to be looking forward. She's on my radar, and I think I'm going to do an Ardor watch list on Leanna Cruz, because she's definitely one to watch. Number four, so on the MVP Most Valuable Promotion show, they had Crystal Rosado, who's managed by Amanda Serrano. And Crystal Rosado, she just went in there and blew the girl out of there. It's like the female Deontay Wilder. Dixon called herself that. I'm not making that up. So Tarethia Dixon, she called herself the female Deontay Wilder going into the fight. So that's not me making that up. But Crystal Rosado took her out in the second round. It's like the first round, she was a little more cautious in there, and then the second round, she was like, okay, I'm here now. And she just went in there and blasted her out of there. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Crystal Rosado. We'll see where she goes from here, but I really hope they take it slow. You know, there wasn't very much technical with Rosado that I could get out of that fight. So we'll have to see how she progresses going forward. But I definitely like the aggressiveness. Fans like to watch that. Fans like myself like to watch it. I can watch technical boxing, but that is just a little bit more entertaining to digest. So she took care of business. Her first fight had to have the butterflies too. I wonder if she did, but you couldn't tell because she went in there and took care of business early. So great job by Crystal Rosado. So number five, so Cyrus Pattinson went against Conor Walker, and Walker just beat him up. He beat up Pattinson pretty badly. Now, the thing about Pattinson, it just seems like he has it's Ted Cheeseman-like style, you know, it's come forward, but he doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power he thinks he possesses. He's a put-together guy. You know, he looks strong, and I'm sure he is strong, but sometimes, you know, punch power is different. It's about punch placement as well, and timing of your punches as well. And Cyrus Pattinson, he just, Conor Walker, every time he hit Pattinson with a good shot, it was wobbling him. And that's after he had dropped him the first time. He just never really got steady, had steady legs after that. And it was just a matter of time before they stopped the fight. And I'm glad that the corner had him retire after the 8th round, or I believe it was after the 8th round, because it wasn't looking good, bro. It wasn't looking good. So it was a good stoppage. Congrats to Walker. He looked good in there, at least on the night. And I'm sure they're going to run it back. They're already talking about running it back. We don't really need to see it, but it's going to happen because they want to give Pattinson another shot to come back and push him forward, because they were going to announce a Ritson fight, which honestly, I think McCormack Ritson is more interesting than Pattinson Ritson, honestly, because I want to see where McCormack can go, because I think he's the next up. Pattinson never was, in my opinion. But it doesn't mean he can't bounce back, because when he was boxing, he looked sharp. He looked good. So I think Pattinson will bounce back. He needs to maybe alter his style a little bit instead of going in there and just having a war with people. That might just be his mentality. And if that's the case, I'm not sure how much longer he can last. They're going to have to matchmake him properly if they want him to last longer than a guy like Cheeseman, because he's in his prime, and Cheeseman had to retire in his prime, and Pattinson's going to have to do the same if he continues fighting that way and going against punchers. I wouldn't even say Walker's not even a puncher, but he goes against fighters, he keeps getting clocked like that. It's just taking its toll. Punch resistance is just going to go away. And that's exactly what's happening with Cyrus Pattinson as we look at him today. So, respect to both fighters as always, but you got to make adjustments. So let's see if Pattinson makes the proper adjustments, and I'm sure they'll meet down the line. But looking forward to see who Walker goes against next. But that's all I have for this top 5 under 5. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Till next time, peace.